Monetization. And what are things called? We need one. Oh, make sure my volume's not on because I don't need to hear myself 2 times. Once is enough. There we go.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
We're here. I
We
don't
did
need
it.
an echo of Jessica. There we are. All right. Happy day. It is windy out. So we're here. We made it. We did this. We scheduled, even though it was very last minute, but I feel like that's what we thrive at. So
Truly. I was like, oh, I gotta do that.
and all week long, I hope she didn't forget. No, she won't forget. And I was like, you better not forget. So, but it's all good. I know I can count
I
on
don't
you.
forget.
So welcome to our channels. I'm Jess with So Many Creations. That's Lauren from More Me Know. In case you don't know either of us, which would be weird, but maybe you don't. I don't know what you know. So
Yeah, we can't presume.
We can't make assumptions. We won't make assumptions today. So we are here because you guys, and I don't know about you, Lauren, but I get asked a lot about about YouTube. How, starting a YouTube channel, how did you get involved in it? Can you really make money there? What's the whole gist of it? Because people want to start channels or they're just genuinely curious. So I get asked a lot and you guys always ask. And so I had said last week, we'll chat about it. And my good friend Lauren said, I'll chat too. So why not have 2 heads, 2 brains that do YouTube and we can talk about it together. So you are welcome to pick our brains about anything you want YouTube related. If we are uncomfortable with a question, we won't answer it. If one of us wants to answer and the other one doesn't, no judgment here. It's fine. And we don't really have much of a format because that's just what we do. So we'll do a little intro, a little how do we get into this world of being on the internet in this weird way that we are as content creators. And then you guys ask us anything you want and we'll go from there. Does that sound good? All right.
I'm excited. Yeah.
All right, me too. So I guess I'll go first. I'm so not that person, but I'm more assertive this year. It's weird.
I like it.
So I'm gonna try it.
I like it.
I'll go first. How I got here, why I got here, and I guess what my plan is. So I was not a big YouTube watcher. That is, it's kind of weird. I did watch a little bit of your videos. I watched like a handful of videos, but I was not like an adamant every single week I was watching YouTube videos. It just wasn't something in my world. I also traveled a lot for shows. I was gone. And so what I found is that as the more and more people that I got met at shows, they would say, do you have a video for this pattern? Do you have a video? And I was like, no, but you can contact me with questions. Well, that wasn't the answer they wanted. They wanted tutorials and I knew nothing. I was terrified, absolutely terrified that I didn't know what to buy, how to do it. If I bought all this equipment, would I not know what to do with the videos once I made it? How do you edit? I was just absolutely terrified. So I also was kind of, I don't want to say lazy. I know you guys get annoyed when I say that word, but it's how I feel. Because I was like, I'm busy. I'm busy writing patterns. I'm busy with my website. I'm busy traveling. So I don't really have time for YouTube. And then COVID happened. So I am, my channel is a product of COVID because I was home and trying to figure out what to do with myself. Because when you travel 15 to 20 times at a minimum in a year, and then the world says, you're stuck, you can't leave anymore, you have to figure out something else to do with your time. And I said to my husband, is this the time to start a YouTube channel? He's like, I feel like it is. And so I was like, okay, I guess it's time. A friend of mine was going to help me. He does video editing as like a side business and also as his job for AQS. And so I was like, could you help me? And he was like, yeah, come to Kentucky. And that was the goal. And then do you remember that fun thing where they were like, not only do you have to stay home, you can't cross state lines. I couldn't go to Kentucky. So I was like, well, how do you start a YouTube channel? And I Googled it while I was in the service truck on a road call with Eric, just to hang out. I wasn't doing anything. And I was like, is starting a YouTube channel hard? And everything was like, all you need is an email address and then you just go. And so I was like, okay. And I started it. My thoughts in 2020 and my thoughts in 2025, vastly different. In 2020, I thought that YouTube for me would be another tool to make money, another revenue stream, not in the way that it is, but I would do videos where you have to buy the video to go with the pattern because you don't need it. patterns are well written. You don't need a video. So that's why some of my patterns still on my website still are for sale, the videos, because I didn't know. I was also really nervous about giving too much information away. And I think that's when I started watching Lauren and some like a handful of other bag makers, not entire videos, but just a little bit like, how is she going to show that step without it being too much, without saying it's 6 inches wide? And so I was just kind of accumulating information. The first video I ever uploaded was a free tutorial for these little unlined, I don't even know if I have one around, little tiny unlined boxy pouches. And I was like, oh, people kind of like that. I think tutorials, I could do that. And I just kind of started doing it. And now it's exciting to think of all the other things to make and add to YouTube, but it's become way bigger than I imagined. So I'm almost at the 5-year mark and I feel pretty good
Wow.
about what I've done in 5 years. So that's where I got started. I don't know if I've ever asked you. I don't even know how long you've been on YouTube. Obviously longer than me, and I don't know how or why you got started. So what's your
That's
YouTube?
fun. Yeah. So I actually started going live on Facebook to sew. I went live in the Swoon Patterns group because I was working on the Annette handbag, and everybody had trouble with this one step, and I was like, I feel like I've got the hang of it. So I'm gonna go live and talk about what I'm doing and do it at the same time. And like there were so many people that were like, this was so fun. Like, so I did it again. And then the admins had to delete the video because I had discussed things that like weren't Swoon related, which is understandable, not a big deal. And at the time, I had already started the Sew Whatever Facebook group as a way to have classes locally with like teens and adults to get together and just like sew whatever. And so I just started going live in there, and people joined the group, and I would go live honestly all the time because I was making bags for a living. I didn't have any other kind of job at the time. It was just making bags. And then I think after like 2 years of that, my friend Nikki was like, you could be making like money off of YouTube if you
What?
posted your videos. And I was like, I'm not really interested in that. Like, I was like, I mean, it would be cool. That's fine. But like, I don't do it to make money, whatever. So I started uploading some of my old live videos. And then I think I realized you could go live on YouTube as well. So I just kind of shifted that mindset. I tried to film some tutorials. But that's how I ended up here.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that you say that because I always, I don't forget that part, but it's like I've moved past it. I did start as Facebook Live too.
Yep.
So I started Facebook Live. My first one, it was May 8th of 2020. I remember that date. It's like one of those weird anniversary dates that I never forget. I didn't start my YouTube channel until like June, like end of May,
Yeah.
beginning of June. And then I was uploading the Facebook videos there. That was most of my content because it was easy. And I was
Yep.
still like about editing, but I did start on Facebook Live kind of the way that you did. You were explaining a step during 2020. I had a pattern released in a magazine, and there was one step that, because when you're in a magazine, they write it for you. I was like, I wouldn't have written it that way, and I feel like it's written awkwardly. If I do this one Facebook Live, I'll explain that step. And also, I was getting nonstop like, are you still open? Are you still shipping orders? Because everything's shut down. And I was like, I work alone. Yes, I'm shipping orders. And so it was just
Yeah.
kind of like, it felt like a necessity, but then it was the same thing. I was like, this is it. I'm done. I went live and I'm checking off the list. And they were like, so are you doing this again next Friday? And I was like, am I? I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know. And literally we are almost on the 5th year of being live every Friday. And now we've transitioned 2 years ago, I think, to YouTube because it's so much more exclusive. Where Facebook, some people are still very opposed to Facebook, and Facebook's hard to go back and find the videos sometimes, unless it's like super recent. So yeah, it was kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
So, and then here we are. So I'm glad to know, like, it's interesting to me to know that you did not start out with like, I'm going to be a content creator. I didn't either. And I think a lot of us that are on YouTube didn't start with that as like our
Yeah.
end goal. Like my job is going to be content creator. I don't even remember that being a discussed word or profession until fairly recently. Like I don't remember that ever being something that anyone was talking about.
Yeah.
But because of the businesses that we're in, because we are selling product, writing patterns, doing all that kind of stuff, you're on the internet. We're in, it's 2025. Being a content creator is, it kind of happens naturally, but also we can't fight it.
Mhm.
We really don't have much of a choice at this point because that's where everybody's looking for us. They're looking for the tutorials, they're looking for information. What you do, which I tried recently, and I mean, there will be many tangents. You always have your releases. You do your short videos,
Yep.
and under 10 minutes, you show your releases. And I was like, what a smart thing to do. Never thought about it. I did it, and what a fantastic thing. Just like to add that extra bit of content in, but to also
Yeah.
make it so you don't have to watch an hour-long Friday Live to see the new cork. I'm like, here you go, it's all by itself. You
Yep.
can watch it on your lunch break and you can just get to the point. Because
Yep.
getting to the point is not something I do very well. So it's just totally fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's very interesting. I'm learning about you because I did not know that. So
Yeah.
I guess I associate you so much with YouTube.
Yeah.
And in the back of my mind, I was like, and you're younger than me. I was like, she definitely was like, I'm going to be a content creator. So it's very interesting to know that that was not the goal.
No. Yeah.
But here we are. Oh, hi,
I
Kira.
know.
I
On her
just
way
saw
to her new
everybody's
house.
here. So I saw something. Maybe this would be a good place to start. There was a question about it. I will answer the zipper overlay question. I'm not ignoring anybody, but where did it go? Oh, here. Tracy said, what equipment do you need to get started? So I don't use like quote unquote professional equipment. I don't like, Kira's our guru for that kind of stuff. I use iPads. That's what I'm on right now. I use my MacBook for editing, which prior to having it, I edited on my iPad. And I use my phone sometimes. I do have microphones, don't always use them. And I would say the biggest thing is my tripod, which I'm using. And I also have, it's over there. I have a stand that's mounted to the ceiling. It's not meant, actually, no, that one is meant for that. I have a floor mat, like a floor stand, and I can take the pole out and stick it up here, and I do the overhead. I think overhead, especially for me, and we all have different opinions of how to run our channels. Overhead for me is huge because most of my tutorials is not about, I'm not holding stuff up. I don't show the sewing, not
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
You do it more sewing. I do a lot less of that and more overhead pointing, and then I'll go sew and come back and show you. So
That's
I
good.
think a tripod, whatever device you want to use what you have. You have a phone, you have an iPad, you have a computer, whatever you already have, you have a camera, whatever works for you. Don't feel like you have to go get equipment and
Yeah.
something to hold it on. Don't be that person trying to hold stuff and film because it will make you crazy, and it will be the thing that people comment on when your camera's shaking the whole time.
Yeah. And like, don't make someone hold it for you. Like, just get a tripod.
Just get a
It's
tripod.
okay. Don't put them through that misery.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think those are really good recommendations. Whenever people message me like, what do I buy to get started? I'm like, don't buy anything.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are you have a cell phone. Chances are you have a lamp.
Yeah.
You need lighting and you need a
Good light.
phone. Yeah, as best as you can. And even if that is not your main focus, if your content is true to yourself, if you have something to talk about, like that is where your channel and content kind of evolves from there.
Mm-hmm. It kind of tells you what it's going to be. Because if
Yeah.
you go in, like, have an idea, have a thought process behind what you want. Do you want to be the person that goes live every week? Do you want to be the person that sews on camera and makes miscellaneous patterns? Do you want to actually get with designers and make full tutorials? Kind of decide your direction, but don't be so set that it's the only thing that you're going to do, because
Yeah.
your audience will guide you. And I can
Yep.
say excuse me, looking back over the last 5 years, I feel like my channel in the last 2 years is at its peak. Like it feels clean. It feels like honed in on what it's supposed to be. It feels
Yeah.
like it has a focus because I figured out what you guys like and what doesn't get views and what works for me. And don't make yourself feel uncomfortable. We
Yeah.
got asked this. I remember somebody asked this question when we were at your event last year. And because I remember Shannon was answering this, and we all kind of were like, yep. When do you get past feeling awkward and uncomfortable? You don't. Like it goes away to a minimum, but you will always feel awkward. I'm sitting in a room by myself,
Yeah.
having a conversation by myself most Fridays. I'm talking
Yeah.
to you, but you're not talking back. It's great. Lauren's here. I can have a face-to-face conversation, but most of the time I'm like, hi, it's me again by myself. It's
Yeah.
me instructing nobody while I'm sewing. It's never going to not be 100%
Yeah.
weird, but don't push yourself. If you feel super uncomfortable with something, it's going to show. If you're like, I hate doing these lives, this is horrible, then don't do it. Like,
Yeah.
don't let them force you into something you don't want to do. It's
Yeah.
just, it won't be genuine. And I
Yeah.
feel like on YouTube, if you want to stand out, you have to be who you are.
Yeah.
And I know that, like, I felt this way meeting you. I felt this way meeting Nicole. I felt this way meeting Kathy. When you meet people that are the same person online as they are in person, you feel that instead of meeting someone and being like, oh, that's not who I follow. That's a different person. Like she wasn't. And people have moments where they're not overly friendly because they're having a bad day. Give people,
Yeah.
cut them some slack. But you can tell when it's a show and then in person, they're like, no, I'm not into it.
Yeah.
Be who you are. Be an
Yeah.
obnoxious, loud New Yorker that laughs at her own jokes. That's who I am. I can't help that. Like, it's just what I do.
Yeah.
So Anne says she loves talking to herself. I mean, we all do to an extent.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I feel like right now I'm not as confident in my channel and in my content. Um just because like work is weird too. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in between a lot of things and I'm not that my channel isn't still growing, but I'm like, is that what I'm supposed to be focusing on? Is it like me trying to grow my channel or is it me trying to give the content that people want to see? You know what I mean? Like, and I think for you, it's really nice because you have your patterns. You have so many of your own patterns. So it's easy to know what content you're creating. Easy. Obviously, it's not always, but kind of like, well, it's going to be related to my brand, to my patterns. Like, so you've got that going for you. Does that make
But
sense?
yeah, it does. But also you have, I mean, the More Me Know brand is strong. It's
Yeah.
there's a look, there's something that people expect from it. There's it's the resource for certain things. So I think your content, while it might be various designers,
Yeah.
sometimes it's your favorite designer, sometimes it might be a random pattern that you just saw that you really liked. It is focused on the learning, but it's also you do show your own materials because it is business.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that I do have a catalog of patterns. And every time I release a new pattern, I also release a full tutorial. I'm also going through my backlog of patterns. What what made me think that I was going to have this finished like 3 years ago? I'm like, girl, no. You have way
Yeah.
too many like you're never going to get through all of them. I mean, eventually I will.
Yeah.
But that also becomes a very niche thing for me. And it narrows that focus of mine. I know that I could change my channel and grow my channel if I stop burping. But if I picked other patterns, if I was like, I'll make a Mormino pattern, I'll make an Aura Rosa pattern, I understand. But that's a compromise that I won't make because I'm not going to do something purely to make money and
Hmm.
to grow something that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
I am not comfortable making other people's patterns on my channel. It's not my focus, but also it's a me thing. I feel this, I know how I am as a person, and I'm super scared to start making somebody's pattern and to accidentally critique it or change it because I didn't like how they wrote it, and to come off as if I'm criticizing someone. And I
Yeah.
know how I am, and it's never coming from a bad place, but I don't want it to appear that it is. So
Yeah.
if I say something about my home pattern, I can say anything I
Yeah.
want. I wrote it. But I don't want to be like, oh, did you see she made the Lauren toe and she said this and she changed this, and it's probably because she doesn't like the pattern. And I don't want to start that conversation.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. You are so good at that. Like, I never have seen a video of yours and been like, wow, she must not like that. Or she, like, you're just like, your changes work. You're always focused on the audience. You're always
Yeah.
focused on whoever is watching that video being successful. And I think
Yeah.
it definitely comes through in what you do. So,
It was literally, I was filming it up until like 2 in the morning last night, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, what is the point if you're so exhausted? Like, I don't know. So,
it's tough.
yeah.
Content creation does become something that takes over your life.
Mhm.
It becomes this constant question of, should I be filming this? And you almost annoy yourself sometimes because you're like, oh, I just did that and I probably should have filmed it. That would have been a great thing to upload. And then you're like, but my entire life can't be on camera. I need
Yeah.
to have a moment sometimes. I just wanted to sit down here the other day. I've been busy getting ready for Cleveland. I just wanted to sit and sew nothing. And I said to myself, should I just put the iPad on the stand? Should I just start filming? And I was like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to just do it to do it. I want to
Yeah.
be prepared for it. But it becomes something that you beat yourself up over because you're like, oh, I haven't uploaded anything this week. Oh, I didn't talk about this. Oh, I should have filmed that. And it's
Yeah.
kind of easy to irritate yourself.
Yeah. Truly. Yeah.
So so let's see here. April May Shine says, I'm finding it a bit difficult introducing myself and my business, networking with others without feeling awkward. Do you possibly have any advice from a YouTube perspective? Well, introducing yourself and your business, I think, is a super important thing, especially
Yeah.
during your intro of your video. It will always feel a little bit weird. It's the worst part. I think I will film a 3-hour tutorial, no problem. I have to get on here and say, hi, I'm Jess with So Many Creations. And I have to film it 10 times because I just can't do it. I'm like, what am I saying? But
Yeah.
if you say it with every single video, I think it creates your brand. I think it's
Mhm.
good for you when you go to shows or if you choose to vend or teach, because then they're like, I know you. I know you on YouTube. And so they recognize you. But the awkwardness of being like, hey, welcome back. Don't forget to
Yeah.
subscribe.
Yeah.
That we can't get rid of that for whatever reason. You just kind of have to learn to live with it.
Yeah.
It's like learning to live with the weather because we can't change it. We just have to adapt to it. I think it's important. I think if you want to really start growing your channel, make your videos, post links in, post little things in other groups, start a Facebook group, put your stuff out there, show everybody what you're doing, tell everybody. There's nothing wrong with being blatantly like, listen, I just started a YouTube channel. Want to go subscribe? People do it all the time. I see it in your
Yeah.
group. I see it in a lot of the groups. They're like, I just started, I'd love to get 100 subscribers. Put it out there. Just try to not feel awkward, but just know that we all feel awkward. None of
Yeah.
us are like normal people. None of us are just like, I'm so good at this. Every day I'm
Yeah.
like, am I an idiot? Did that sound stupid? And then I put a blooper reel at the end of the year so you can see
Yeah.
all the dumb things that I say. Because
Oh, I
that's
love
just
that.
my personality. I will make fun of myself first and foremost, and I have no issue doing it.
Yeah.
So, it's tough in the beginning, and I'll tell you, I don't know how you felt in the beginning of your YouTube journey. I never felt like I was like, what are you doing? Like, do you even know what you're doing at this point? I
Yeah.
always felt weird. And I don't feel like the beginning of my content was great because I didn't have a focus. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not sure what I want to do. Once you get into it, it's like it all clicks. And then all of a sudden you're like, I can do this. I can do this. And they really reacted well to these things. I'm going to do that again. And you just
Yeah.
keep trying it and you try new things. And if it doesn't work, don't take it personally. Just
Yeah.
do something different, you know? And we were like talking about this a little bit before we went on. You have to be genuine and you have to find your path. Don't
Yeah.
follow my channel and be like, well, I'm going to do exactly what she does. It's a copy. You need to be you. You can take little ideas. Kathy from K-Dill made a little video showing her classes that she was going to be teaching at Sew Expo. And she talked about what you get in the class and the kits and stuff. And I was like, that's a fun idea. I was like, oh, I borrow that. And I tried it. And I was like, that's cute. It's just a little thing, but I'm not going to do everything she does.
Right.
Lauren does release videos. I tried one of those out and I was like, well, that was kind of fun. And it worked really nicely. I saw
Yeah.
sales on the website, but I'm not going to be like, okay, well, now that one of Lauren's ideas worked, let me do all of them. Cause now I'm just a copycat channel. What's the point in that?
Yeah.
It's not smart.
And I think too, like giving credit if you remember to is also a huge thing. Like even if it's I were to be like, oh, hey Jess, I saw you do that. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Cool. You know, like just acknowledging it so that people don't think like, oh, so you're just copying
Right.
what that person's doing. But again, like there's a way to look at what someone else is doing and go, okay, how can I make that my own? I
Right.
really liked that. Now, what can I do to change it up a little bit to make it what I want to do? Or again, just blatantly be like, I saw this person do it, so I am doing it.
Exactly. And I remember some of the videos that I would watch. I wasn't watching them to copy them. I was curious,
Yeah.
like, how do you show this step when you don't have a cutting mat out? What how do you kind of get around giving away too much? And what can you say if you're, doing this or that? And so I would watch little snippets and go, oh, that's easy enough. Okay, now I see how that's done. But now I'm going to just erase that from my mind and do it my way. I don't want to
Yeah.
be like, okay, focus and do it exactly the same way that you just saw it. There's no point in that.
Yeah.
There's going to be overlap, just like with anything. But
Yeah.
so Kim just said the cork cutting videos were great. I have always been leery of cutting videos where you do them a lot because I'm like, is it hard to like not show too much? And somehow you do it even with a cutting mat and I still can't, it's not too much, but I was like, I'm still not comfortable. I want to
Yeah.
do a direct overhead shot of the cork. So I kind of
Yeah.
like, watched yours, thought about what I wanted to do, tried my own way. It went
Yeah.
over very well. And if it
Yeah.
doesn't, trust me, they will let you know if they don't like it. And I don't mean that in a harsh way. It's not
No.
like everybody's going to be like, this sucked. Some people will, but you'll just notice that your views and your comments are super low on something. And
Yeah.
that's your audience saying, nah, we didn't really like it. That
No,
wasn't
thank
for
you.
us.
I
We
didn't
don't
like
need
it.
another one of those.
Yeah. And I think too that is so important. If you're someone who watches a content creator often, leave those comments, leave that feedback. Even if you can't say it in the nicest way, like sometimes we take it personally, but sometimes we're like, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know unless somebody tells me.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, if you don't like something, we upload a video and there was something about it you didn't like, try it in the kindest way possible because we are human
Yeah.
beings. We
Yeah.
forget that when we're typing. But instead of just being like, for example, I like this pattern, but all you do is talk, 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 talk. I'm guessing she's not watching today. And that was an actual comment on one of my videos. How about, would it be possible in a video to show the sewing a little bit more? Because sometimes I'm distracted by all the chit chat. That doesn't hurt as much or irritate the creator as much.
Yeah.
Yes, we are all entitled to our own opinions. And no, I'm not
Doing
telling
all
you
that
you can't.
yapping.
You can, but don't tell someone not to talk. Like that's just mean. But saying like, oh my God, I love the way you filmed this video. Then we're like, oh, you did? Okay, cool. I'm glad that you like that. And so it's positive and constructive criticism, always better because, we've all had it. Every one of us has. And that's another thing. Be prepared for it, but also don't think that that's all that happens.
Yeah.
It's not every day, all day. People are like, you suck. We hate you. It's not like that. Those comments will always sting. They just do. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. It doesn't matter if it's 1 out of 1,000. They always sting a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's just one of those things. If you're super sensitive, YouTube might not be for you because that one comment might put you over the edge, but don't let it. because just know that just look at all the other comments that you got that were wonderful. Don't let
Yeah.
that one ruin you or stop you from what you're doing. It's not that bad.
I think that is another super important thing to remember, and it's something that I'm learning this year is that it's it comes back to like it's quality, not quantity.
Mhm.
And I've found this even in teaching or having classes. Your audience reflects you as a person, 100%. Like whatever the teacher is like, whatever you are like, that is what your audience is going to mirror and match,
Mhm.
more or less. You're going to drive people to you that are similar to you. So when I think about like, oh, my channel is not as big as this person's, or like when you start to compare, you have to also think like, but maybe I don't like their audience. Maybe their audience is not
Mhm.
like me. So why would you want that? I think,
Right.
and again, like I said, it's something I've become more comfortable with because I was like, oh, my channel's not growing, my channel's not doing this, and it's like that it doesn't matter. Like what's important is that you have your voice out there with people that resonate with it, that match. Yeah.
And when you like, I get comments on, it'll be a random video. It'll be something that I've had out there for 3 years that was like, once I hit upload, I've kind of forgotten about it. A couple days after the video's out there, I'm moving on to something else. But somebody will just randomly be like, oh my God, I love your teaching style. This is such an amazing video. I just subscribed. That's the person I'm focused on, not the
Yeah.
person that's like, I took the time out to tell you that I didn't like this. Okay, well then I'm not for you. And that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I would say probably the two of us have some overlap, but we also have very different audiences
Mm-hmm.
because we
Mm-hmm.
are different creators. We are not the
Yeah.
same person. We don't do the
Yeah.
same exact thing. In a
Yeah.
general, like, yeah, you're both bag makers on YouTube. Sure, we're also both women, but that doesn't mean that we're the same person. It doesn't mean that we do the same thing. So
Yeah.
you might have somebody that likes your channel, but mine, it's too much for them. Or vice versa, because they're like, well, I like how your tutorials are, or maybe they watch your lives and my tutorials. Or you just because somebody likes you and watches your channel doesn't mean they're going to watch every piece of your content.
Yeah.
And so that's why doing different things, longer videos, shorter videos, cutting, live, that's how you mix it up and you find the right audience. Because there are people that aren't here that don't want to be live because they're like, every Friday for a whole hour she talks about nothing. I'm aware of that. But they like
Yeah.
my tutorials, and that's fine. It's fine to let people pick and choose. You can't imagine that everybody's going to like every piece of vinyl that you sell. They're like,
Yeah.
I buy every single thing that Lauren has. No, maybe they don't like one of the prints or like something sparkly or whatever. They
Mm-hmm.
pick and choose. And so you
Yep.
find different bits of audience from different places. And
Yeah.
you just have to kind of be okay with that. We do put ourselves out there. We do, but I don't feel like that in any way makes us ask for it. Like it doesn't mean like, well, you put yourself out there so you're going to get negative. Yeah, but we don't need to. But also I can't assume that everybody is going to like everything. And you just kind of you work at it and you figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
I've been going live every single Friday for 5 years. That is a big commitment. It's not something everybody else does. I still laugh at you guys. I'm like, why are you here? Like, we don't even talk about anything, but some of you like it, and that's just the way it is. You go live, is it once a month with Brittany or twice a month?
Mm-hmm.
Because you do cutting and sewing.
Yep.
So there's another group there that maybe they gravitate towards that because they like your banter or they like the project you work on, but maybe they're not subscribing or following both of your channels. Like
Yeah.
it's there's just so many different ways to try things. So
Yeah.
don't be afraid to try it. If you want to do it, do it.
Yep.
And if you want to start a YouTube channel, just do it.
Yeah.
Waiting is not going to change anything. Waiting is
Truly.
going to make your anxiety worse.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah. And someone asked, what are we doing? Are we taking questions regarding YouTube? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything
So
you want to know, we're
yeah.
here. We're here for you.
I know there was another question about like, do you have special cameras? And you answered you use your iPad to
What do
film.
you use?
I
Your
use
phone?
iPhones.
Yeah.
I actually just bought another new iPhone so that I have like two really good cameras for above in the side. And then I also have an external mic that hooks up so that I have better audio. But again, like those are things that I have slowly saved up the money for to better my channel.
Exactly. Because day one, it doesn't like, just start it. Just do it. Don't worry if, you know, you don't have the best equipment right now. Don't worry if, you know, you're using an older iPad. Does it do the job? Does it work? You know, just try it out, get going, because once you get into it, that's when you're kind of get excited about it. And like Rhea's here. Rhea just started her channel. Go follow her. But Rhea just started, and her videos are not 3 hours long. They're not these super, but she's finding her voice and she's starting her channel. She posts when she has one, you know, to let everybody know. I see it in the So Whatever group. She's starting out, and maybe a year from now she'll have the same channel. Maybe a year from now it'll be totally different, because she'll feel like a different, you know, I feel like I want to try this or try that. Don't have a focus, but don't lose yourself because you're like, well, I said I was only going to do tutorials. No, just like try stuff out, see what happens. Make friends with other YouTubers, make content together, see if that works for both of you. And you were talking before about like numbers, and like kind of like you get focused on like, well, my channel's not as big as hers. Don't do that to yourself. Like, I will celebrate every milestone. Every time I hit like that next 1,000, I'm like, guys, guess where I'm at? And I'm excited. And I was excited at 500. You're allowed to celebrate those little milestones, but don't get hung up on it.
Yeah.
As I said, my channel is literally focused on me. It's focused on my patterns, my quirk, the things that I do. That's a smaller audience than an audience that makes all sorts of patterns and is open to doing different things. So it's just, if it grows slowly, let it grow slowly. Organically and slowly with a genuine audience is better than buying your audience. It's better than being like, oh, they give away things on that channel, or she'll do anything we ask her to do. Be you. It's just so much better that way. So much better. How do the like and comments? Oh, I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
You're good. Was that one above that?
No, it's below it because I just happened to look down. But yes.
Okay. But yeah, I figured, I was like, oh, this is a good question. So as a bag maker, I sometimes feel like you have to have YouTube to get exposure for your business. What are your thoughts on that, and why did you start a channel? So you mentioned a little bit earlier, and so did I. Like, I started going live to show people how to do tricky things and patterns, and you went live because of COVID. More or less.
Boredom.
Boredom. I was just like, oh, why not? But I think it is a good way to get exposure for your business, but I don't think it's the only way. I think there are so many, I see so many different discussions within groups that people are like, why do we want tutorials? Like, there is a large group of people who are like, please don't play a video. I have the instructions. I got this. Leave me alone. So you don't have to have it. And again, that's just going to make it so that you match your audience. You're looking for people just like you, more or less.
The first person that comes to mind with that question is Erica from Lavender and Twine. Erica has a YouTube channel, technically. Erica's videos are protected within her patterns. You are not allowed to make videos. Only she is. Erica is a massive name that people know, and she's not a YouTube face. She's not somebody that everyone's like, I watch her channel all the time. Her channel is limited to what you have accessibility to. So I don't think that you have to have a YouTube channel. She, I think, is a prime example of that. On the flip side, does it help? Yeah, of course it does. Anything that you do to expose yourself definitely helps, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook groups, whatever the case is. Some people have massive email marketing. There's so many things. Everything helps, but everybody grows differently. I feel like I established myself very well in the quilting community. I feel like a baby in the bag making community. I feel like nobody knows who I am because I feel like I started fresh here a few years ago. I was big in the quilting community. I was the bag person there. I was a big fish in that little small pond. Now I'm a teeny tiny little guppy in this huge ocean that I'm trying to navigate and make a name for myself, because people are still like, who who's So Many Creations. I don't even know who that is. I've never heard of her before because I didn't put my foot into that door first, which is where I should have gone. But I was surrounded by quilters and I was going
Yeah.
to quilt shows. So it made sense at that time. Now I feel like I'm almost rebranding myself in a way. So for me, YouTube helps because I'm like, no, it's me. It's the same person. This is me that makes the bags. It's different. And a lot of my audience actually did not know me before, but my website was well known. So when everything did happen, I hate saying that word again, in 2020, I felt like I could survive because I had promoted my website and my pattern so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, let's try this new audience of bag makers who love tutorials and YouTube channels.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do anything, but
Mm-mm.
100% try it. The
Yeah.
YouTube's free. What's the worst that's going to happen? You hate it, and a year from now, you're like, I'm just going to shut this channel down. I didn't like it.
And you can.
And what if
Yeah.
it goes in the opposite direction and you're like, I'm actually comfortable here and I'm
Yeah.
growing and I'm seeing a lot more for my business and I love it here. It could go in either direction. So give it a try. You
Yeah.
know, you never know. What else we got? I don't think so. And if you can, I don't know. Can you?
Yes, but not someone specifically, but in your metrics, there's like,
Oh,
it shows how long people watch your videos.
yes, but not like it doesn't say Marie Watson only watch
No,
4 minutes of your hour
no.
video. But yes, that in that sense, yes, you can look. So when you download the YouTube app, there's also something called YouTube Studio. And
Mhm.
in YouTube Studio, it gives you what you're earning, what videos you've done. It gives you like little weekly pep talks of like these were your top videos. It gives you all the stuff. And in
Yeah.
that it'll say like basically how captivated your audience was by you. And so from that standpoint, yes, but it won't say anyone specifically.
No.
And if it's a live video, we don't know you're here unless you comment. So like
Right.
if you're watching us live, we don't know. Like
Yeah.
it'll like
On
right
you.
now it says 143 people are watching. 143 people are not commenting. So I
Right.
don't know who everybody is.
In Facebook though, you can see who's watching, but
Correct.
not
Yeah.
on YouTube. Yeah.
Facebook's kind of sneaky like that. And they're like, and
Yeah.
you're sitting there and you go, I remember this girl I went to high school with, I was like, why is she here? And like, I think I was like, hi, Stephanie, like very randomly, because I'm like, why is she here? And then she went away. She immediately was like, I'm in the wrong place. And
I don't know what this is.
I didn't like you in high
Yeah.
school. I'm leaving. So I was like, all right, cool. How do the like and comments affect the channel? They help with that stupid algorithm. They show you to other audiences. They say people that like these videos, like you should watch this. It definitely helps to keep us going. It pushes the video a lot more. As far as monetary, it doesn't really do anything. As far as I know, monetary is more when you just watch the ads, because guess what? That's how we make money on YouTube, is you guys watching ads and not skipping the little commercials. But they definitely, likes and comments on all social media is what boosts you. So like your favorite creators, subscribe, comment on things. It all helps. However, and I'm going to say this for all the negative Nancys out there, I'm going to tell you a secret. Just because you comment and you say something negative, the algorithm doesn't know that. It sees a comment as an interaction, and they're like, oh, you want more of this person? So the more that you negatively interact with somebody, the more you will see them. So just don't. And I don't say this for me. I say it for you because you're actually making yourself miserable. So well,
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
How did you get and make a business name? I just want a brand name. I mean, Lauren's is probably easier to answer. Mine was just a random mixing of words that I thought sounded kind of cute, and it actually was not my original name. It was So Many Stitches. I don't know why. I don't know why I was on the so many kick. And then I just said creations because at the time I didn't have patterns. I was making things and selling them. And so it was just a thing that I did. And a friend of mine, her husband on the side made logos. He doesn't any longer. And he made me a little logo with a flower and a button, and it just stuck. And 13 years later, it's still mine.
Yeah. I love that.
Yours is because of your name pronunciation, like wasn't it to tell people how to pronounce your name?
Pretty much,
more or
yeah.
less.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, because do we get paid with the account with no ads? So what is that called again? YouTube I
Premium?
premium. Yes, we do because you pay. There's like a percentage of that that goes to the videos that you watch. I looked it up the last time somebody asked because I was like, I don't know how that works. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a small percentage of that that does go to the creators' videos that you're watching. Um,
Yeah.
so yes, for sure. Just an FYI, and I will say this because I don't care. Unless you are in the millions, you're not making so much money on YouTube that like you're ready to retire. Like it's a nice little extra bump every month. They're really good about it. They put a little deposit in every month. It's great. You can also do YouTube memberships, but I mean, we're not making like, $50,000 a month unless you're in the millions and you're getting so many views on your videos. It's not it's nice money, it's bonus money, but it's not like woo. I can go buy a house in Hawaii this month. It no. I wish it was. I wish
Yeah.
someday it would be. I just wanted to pay my mortgage. I think that's a
Yeah.
nice little goal. Just pay my mortgage
Yeah.
every month. I'm good.
Yeah. Mine used to, but for some reason, like it's gone down quite a bit. So doesn't quite cover it, but it used to be my mortgage payment. Yeah.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
nice.
It's just a nice little extra thing. And I started
Yeah.
doing memberships, you started doing memberships, and
Hmm.
that definitely adds a little bit to it. And that's just a nice little thing. All optional for you guys, but we put it out there because just like anything, you don't have to buy our product any more than you have to be a member, but we put it out there as an option for you if you're interested.
Yeah. Yeah.
So registering a business, that is a state by state thing that I have no jurisdiction in talking about. The logo thing was really a favor. I traded a bag for a logo. That was how I got that done. I don't know anything about that. Are there any specific ways to build a community within YouTube in itself? I don't have the subscribers yet to see new milestones. Do you mean like kind of like the way you on Facebook you could do groups, like that kind of thing? I wish they would, but as far as I know, they don't have anything like that. I wish there was something along those lines.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I feel like just interacting with people that you watch really helps too, because there are names that I did not know until they started commenting, and then like, that's how you get to know people. Don't die, okay?
I'm choking on my coffee.
Oh, don't do that.
Sorry. But I mean, building a community is it kind of goes along with content creation for each of us too. We have built these communities. I don't really think intentionally, but we do it. And as you're doing that, because what happens is you get people that say things to you like, you got me through a sickness. You did this for me. I found your channel because of this and I've never left. And, you helped me with these kinds of things. And that's your community. It becomes like your extended family. And so
Yeah.
you build it in that way. And then those are the people that are buying your patterns and your product and talking about you. And so you're kind of building your little family. But it's all from interactions. It's between the comments. Excuse me. You guys talk to each other and then you talk to us and then you meet us in person and then we become friends with you, or you follow other people because it's like you have trust in us. Lauren comes on and says, I follow this channel, you should, and you're like, well, I trust her, I'm gonna go follow it. And so like you kind of build those little things as a group. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm choking. I'm good.
Please, can you just stop? Can you not?
Trying. And then you make friends with YouTubers and they're mean to you. But you like it.
You do like it.
I do like it. Yes, you find a YouTuber who's actually a really nice person, and you say really awkward, stupid things to her, and she appreciates that about you, and you become good friends, and it's just the way it is.
The best.
Let's see here. One of many revenue streams. I mean, revenue streams are everywhere, and I will say, YouTube, I feel, pays the best and gives you the best access to make money where the rest of it, like, it's just pathetic. I'll tell you, the biggest check I've ever gotten from Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram, was $8. So just saying, I
What
bought
was
it.
it for?
Uh, I have no idea. They give me money every month, and I don't know what it's for. And it ranges from like $3 to $8. I think it's for
Nice.
reels, but they're never really specific about it. So I'm like, could you tell me what I'm doing so I could do more of it? But they're
Yeah.
just like, we put money in your PayPal account. I'm like, well, I don't know what it's for.
That's cool.
No idea. But they just started doing it one day, and I was like, did I register for this?
You
I don't
must
know what
have.
it is. It's bizarre. But YouTube, at least you can make some income. Like you can make something off of it. Meta, I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So there's a bunch of channels here that I think you guys should all go subscribe to. I'm just seeing everybody that's commenting on here that I want to know if you guys are watching some of these channels. I'm scrolling back a little bit because I don't want to miss anybody. I don't want to be that person that offends anybody that I like. I'll offend the people I don't like. Let's see who is here. I know Brittany was here. I saw her, and Jenny was here from oh my God, why did my brain just stop working?
Sincerely, Jen.
Thank you. Wow, that the coffee.
It's okay.
Rhea, for sure.
This
If you
is a
have
good question.
Kathy, if you have a YouTube channel, put it in the comments so we can follow you.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Did you start selling your products first, or did you start making tutorials and then started selling the finished products?
I think that's for you because I don't sell finished products.
Not anymore.
Well, I mean, I did it in person. It was an in-person thing. I thought I was gonna like take over doing home parties and like be like, come buy stuff from me. It was bad. We don't need to talk about that today.
I love that though.
No, it's terrible. You do still sell because you've gone to like Comic-Con and like things like that.
Yeah.
Which one came first for you?
Selling finished products came first for me. And I started making tutorials because I got proficient in making that item. So I was able to share like tips and tricks and show how to make it. And my goal was kind of like bag making for profit in a way, like how to make it your business. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. As I mentioned 8 years ago, we've been here for a while. I was selling the product that I sell, not finished bags, on my website, and then started YouTube really, really late, but I did start it. So better late than never, but also just do it. Literally just do it. If you are here right now listening to us saying to yourself, I kind of want to start a YouTube channel, you're ready. Just do it. Because the only thing stopping you right now is you. Don't let fear and anxiety tell you not to. You could be the next big thing and you don't even know it. It could be just a good place for you to get all of your thoughts out on video. It could be so many things for you. Just do it.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to change between now and the time you start it. Just do it and fumble your way through and make videos that feel weird and uncomfortable until you find your rhythm. Just do it. It will get easier and you will start to feel better about it and be like, you know what? I think I really want to focus on this. And it can be anything that you want. Nova, who's not here, I wish she was. Nova goes live every day, because that's what she likes to do. That's her comfort zone. She does her captain's log. That's what she does. That's her thing. Doesn't mean that it works for everybody else, but it's what she likes to use.
Yeah.
Do you use special programs to edit your videos and piece together bloopers, etc.? So I use, if you're an Apple user, you already have a free app on all of your devices called iMovie, and I use iMovie. Is it limiting? It can be. There's certain things you can't do for sure, but if the bigger your device, the more options you have. So getting a MacBook was amazing because there's a better version of iMovie, but it's free. I have never paid for editing software. I could, but I do what I do. And I also use CapCut. I use CapCut a lot on shorter videos because it's on my phone. And I like the captions and the things you can do on CapCut. I feel like it's easier, but because it's a phone app, sometimes they don't want like 10 and 15-minute videos. Like sometimes it takes a while to download it. But I do pay $10 a month for CapCut because I have like the premium version.
Nice.
But I use free iMovie. So if you have anything Apple, you have a way to get started. And it's
Yeah.
not hard to use. I was doing it on an iPad for like the first year of YouTube. It's doable. What do you use? I know you use something better.
I use like the grown-up version of Final Cut. It's called Final Cut Pro. And I paid $300 once. And it's on my computer, and whenever I transfer it, like it'll be there as well. And I think it has a lot of great options, and there's so much to it that I don't know, but I know enough to make it work. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
And now Final Cut Pro had something going on with iMovie where I had logged in one day and iMovie was like, hey, do you want to spend $300 and download Final Cut Pro? And I was like, do I? And I didn't, only because I was afraid of getting like distracted by just wanting to learn all the stuff in there. But I think someday I'll probably do Final Cut Pro. It was what was recommended to me in the beginning. And I just didn't do it because I was... Just remember that everything that you guys say, we do hear, and sometimes it makes a difference and you don't even realize it, but just random conversations. I was having a random conversation with somebody who said to me, look at this little movie that I made to play in my booth that I made on iMovie. And I was thinking, no offense to this person, but she's asked me questions about technology that I feel like she shouldn't even know how to use this program, and she did. So if she can use it, I can use it. And so I was like, let me play with iMovie. And I was like, oh, this is actually easy. So, and did Lena just say there was another, I thought I saw a comment from Lena that there was, Windows has one now too. It's not great, but it's free. So there's always, there's always a way to do it. If you don't want to spend $300, don't. And if you do, go for it. But I use as much free stuff as I possibly can, just because why not? And to me, my iPads are free because I already own them. So
Yeah.
I didn't invest in
And
I invested in tripods.
I was gonna say that's exactly the thing. Like you use what you can until it doesn't work, or you feel like you need to make that change. But I did not invest money that I did not have into my channel. As I started getting paychecks from YouTube, I would save that money. I would then buy something I needed, like and then another thing is like just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's good. Like don't
Correct.
invest in the cheapest stuff. If it's what you can afford, it's what you can afford. But like I had a really cheap mic and
It was a cheap mic. It gave
it's a cheap mic.
audio. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that like use what you have to get yourself going. Not just to save money, but to make sure that you really want to do this. Sometimes we're convinced that we want to do something and we get into it and we're like, I just don't like this. Like for whatever reason, I don't feel like I want to be on YouTube anymore. So don't get all crazy, because if you're anything like me, it's like I almost have these weird manic episodes where I'm like, go buy everything. And then I get it and I'm like, well, I just spent $1,000 and I don't even like doing this anymore. Don't get crazy. Use what you have. As you start getting better at it and you like it, then you know what, I want to get a camera, or I want to get a microphone, then start kind of building that up. So you can for sure start as inexpensively as possible and build as needed. So I would love to do it in French. Not many videos in French. I don't speak French. So I don't know about that.
I posted this comment because I think it's a great jumping off point of like, do what you want to see. Because if you want to see it, there are other people out there that want to see it as well. So if you want to see it, do it. If you have that idea, do it.
Well, what was you were having a conversation with Lena the other day about having was she talking about videos in Spanish, or a book that she was co-writing in Spanish? Because it hadn't been done yet and it was a unique idea to do that. If you, like Lauren said, if you want it, someone else wants it. That's why it's one of my favorite things when we're in class and somebody will say, can I ask you a stupid question? I'm like, I guarantee you it's not stupid. And I guarantee you, if you want to know, somebody else in this room wants to know. So if you think it's something, run with it. You know, if you don't see videos in French, do it. You know, that's absolutely something that I'm sure other people would really appreciate. Not me, because I don't speak French, but I'm sure it will be lovely. I'm not really that great at English. So, you know, I get by. I do my best.
Yep.
Exactly. I'm French, so why not? Exactly.
Yep.
Well, I hope that you'll stop being fearful and do it. I mean, you know, I try not to overthink too many things, especially something. YouTube's easy. It's an easy. We're not like, well, I think I want to go be a brain surgeon. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's not for everybody. But making a YouTube channel, if I can start a YouTube channel in a service van on the side of the road, you can start one at home for sure.
You can too.
You can too. But wait, there's more. But seriously, like, there is the only thing stopping you right now is you. Don't let the fear stop you and the anxiety. Just do it. And I say that because I am that person. Because all the times when someone would say, do you have a video for this? And I was like, no, you don't need a video. I was trying to convince myself that I didn't need a channel, but I was like, they're asking for it. Why don't you just do it? But I was like, I don't want to do it. It's going to be terrible. I don't know how to make a video. It's actually, if I had known that it wasn't as hard as I made it out to be, I probably would have done it sooner, but at least I have the time to focus on it now. But it will become a monster. It will become something that you will think about all the time, and you will upload and you will look and see if somebody, you know, commented and see if somebody said something. Yeah. It's just the way it becomes a weird thing. It becomes an obsession. So, which there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we're here to make money, but we're also here to share the thing that we're excited to do. That's the whole point of what we do.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's my goal. The money that we can make from it is nice. Exactly. But like, I'm not here to be like, I need that check.
Right.
I need that money.
I didn't mean necessarily that, but like, as business owners, like, that is what we're here to do. But also, we started these businesses because we love what we do. We don't want to lose that love. We don't want to forget that the whole point of all this was that we loved making bags. That's what we wanted.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I want to make more content about new items I offer more consistently, but I feel sales pitchy. That is legit. I understand that. And my thing is, because I've never been a good salesperson. Like, I tried those jobs where they're like, you got to get out there and sell stuff. And I'm like, no, thank you. I don't like that at all. Never ask a question that has a yes or a no answer. Ask an open-ended question. I'm like, I don't do that. That's horse poop. It comes more naturally the more that you do it, but don't worry about so much selling it. Worry about your enthusiasm for why you love it. Like, a lot of the times I talk about products on my channel, I don't make a dime off of them. I'm just so excited that I got this new foot or this thread, and I want you to go, you know, check it out. Like, I talk about wizardry thread because I like Melissa and I like her product. I don't make money off of that. And it's not because she asked me to do it. It's because I'm excited. I'm excited. And I'm like, hey, look at this thread. I love what she does. So when you're talking about stuff, pretend it's not even yours. Just pretend it's something that you're just excited about and you just want to show people something you did, you know?
I agree. And I don't do sponsored content for that reason. I actually had a company reach out and they're like, we'd love to work with you. And I'm like, well, I'm going to be the weirdest one you work with because I don't want money from this. Like, I feel so gross, and not to say that people shouldn't feel gross, but I'm like, I feel so gross getting paid to talk about something that other people would then go buy. Like, I get money if somebody else buys it. If I convince them to buy it, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I've never had an affiliate link. I've never done sponsored. I did have a company that I work with, like, all the time. They reach out to me and they're like, can we send you some stuff and you can talk about it? I'm like, I don't think I want to. I'm like, can I just do what I do? Because, like, I don't know. It's awkward. Like, I don't know if I really want to do that. And that's me. And that's just how I feel.
It's just not true to you. Like, it's not genuine. If you're getting, and like, I always want to make sure that I'm buying the product that I'm talking about, because then you know the value.
Right.
If I get sent something and it's $200, then I don't know that value. I don't have that monetary investment to know what this value is and what it is and how much someone has to spend to get it. So like, again, I have received product in the past, and I don't accept free product. Like, and
And
if
if
I
I
get it
get
for free, I say it.
I will tell you that I got it for free. Like, I don't even
Yeah.
care if it came from you. I'm like, Lauren gave me this piece of fabric. Like, I don't want you to, I
Yeah.
want you to know that it was for free. And I
Yeah.
will also be upfront. If I'm like, I just got this, haven't used it yet, but isn't this exciting? I don't want you to run out and buy it. I'm not encouraging that. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I'm going to try it out and I'll let you know if I like it,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
So, one thing I've heard catty comments about are memberships. Could you talk about memberships and the money you actually make on YouTube? So, I understand why for some people, like, the whole YouTube membership thing is weird. It's the same thing with Patreon. Um, if you want to look at it from that point of view, it's like, oh, you're asking people to give you money. No, not really. What we're doing is, yes, we're adding to our revenue stream. Obviously, that's what we do as business owners. But also, what it does is it allows you the choice if you want to financially, like, not sponsor, but help out your favorite creator by 99 cents a month, or whatever the case may be. It's really just, it's just it's there's always a give and take to it. So
Yeah.
I have Patreon and memberships. I don't take that lightly. I try to be, and there's definitely been times that I don't feel like I put in as much effort as I should have. I'm trying to be so much better about that. You do get things out of it. Every level of my membership or Patreon, it's an exchange, whether it's early content or a discount on something or something for free. I give you something in exchange for that. But I totally understand that some people look at it from the ick point of view. And I understand that too. Because if
Yeah.
you're not understanding the concept, it can look like, oh, just another creator asking for money. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking. I started Patreon because they made me. I didn't start Patreon because I wanted to do it, because it did feel weird. I was like, because a bunch of my followers and my friends and my group were like, why did you start a Patreon? And I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. It feels weird. I feel like I'm like panhandling. Like, it just feels strange to be like, can I have money? But
Yeah.
then once you start it and there's benefits, and things kind of like, it kind of works itself into like a routine. It's not
Yeah.
so bad. I do see both sides. And I'm also a participant. I'm a Patreon for some people. I'm on some people's memberships. I just, like, for instance, I'm on yours. I'm one of your YouTube members. Not because I felt like I had to, because I wanted to. I was like, I
Yeah.
like Lauren. I like her content. I don't want anything out of it. It was what I wanted to do. It was like a way that I wanted to do that. I do it on Nicole's Patreon. Like, we do it for each other. We basically just wash hands each each month of in exchange of money. But it just
Yeah.
feels like, I just want to be supportive of my friends and the people that I like.
Yeah.
So I do see both sides, and I understand if you're here going, ugh, or if you're like, I love it. I see both sides
Both
of that.
sides, yeah. It was something that I struggled with for a really long time, was like people saying like, "Oh, you should have a Patreon." And I'm like, "I don't want one more thing." Um and also, like, I feel like those are really good for people who really only create content and don't have a business.
True.
You know what I mean? So for me, I was like, well, if people want to support my channel, they can buy my products, and that's enough for me. But I can't remember exactly why I created memberships, and it could have been just so I could have cute emojis
Yeah.
um, on my channel. But we make like what, 60% of that
Cool.
channel fee. So it's not much, and I think I set mine to the absolute lowest that I could, like $1.99. And I do give first access to videos, and then I have videos that are only for members that are maybe a pattern that I didn't actually release, but I made the video for, or a lot of mine are just me and Dorothy, because I'm like, I don't necessarily want that public, but then I don't, like, I shouldn't have even said it. Like, I don't necessarily tell people it's videos of Dorothy, because then I'm like monetizing my child, I guess. So I'm like, I don't know. Oh, it's so weird, you know.
It's a very weird split on it, and
Mhm.
it is awkward sometimes. And I will say, because like YouTube memberships are a little different because it's clicking buttons when you upload things and it's a little bit simpler, where
Yeah.
Patreon, because it's a totally separate platform, sometimes I do feel like, why did I do this to myself? Because now I have another stress to worry about. I have another thing. I'm like, am I doing enough for the Patreons? Did I answer all their things? Like, did I post enough? I instead of doing like a live video, because Nicole will go live for Patreons like this, I do Zooms for Patreons and members. So I'm like, why did you add one more thing to your plate when you already have way too many things going on? But
Yeah.
it's something I try not to take lightly, and I probably did in the beginning. And when people leave, they have an exit survey, and sometimes they fill it out, and you're like, ouch. I didn't feel like she posted enough content. I didn't feel like I got my money's worth. And then you start to reevaluate, should I keep doing this? Should I just try harder? It does become a whole other thing to do.
Yeah.
So do it if you want to, but be
Yeah.
prepared. But also, if you don't, and if you're not a creator and you're just like ick to the Patreon, it's fine. I'm not offended. I don't think Lauren's
Yeah.
offended. Like it's not. We're not there. Like, how can you not join my membership?
Yeah.
It's fine. It's not. It's not a big deal.
So I'll never forget, and like the biggest reason I am my own worst enemy is like I remember my dad being like, "Wait, why would people pay to come to a class if they can get it on YouTube for free?
Right.
Like, why? I don't
Right.
understand." And so I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna have memberships. Like, I don't want people to have to pay for something they can get for free." Like, and I think I just had to like forget about that, you know, especially creating a classroom and everything. I'm like, yeah, well, we're providing something people cannot get on the internet, you know?
Right. It's the experience, and it's
Yeah.
it's the whole thing. Everything that we do has, you know, pluses and negatives to it, whatever that may be. I know we're over an hour now, which thank you, Lauren, because you're usually you're usually a good half hour liver, and then you go, but we're here. One of the things, this is just like a total side note, but I saw this little video the other day, and I thought, I gotta try that because I'm intrigued by it. She was a newscaster, a former newscaster, and she was out in the field. And she said a lot of times her and her cameraman, they had even less time than like we do to edit something because it's got to get out there on the news. She was like, we would film something and we'd have like 30 minutes to get this thing edited and up. So people are always saying, like, how do you get your videos? Like, how do you get them done so quickly? And her advice was, always pretend you're live. No matter what you're filming, pretend that it is live and you don't have time to edit. And I did that yesterday. I filmed like a 5 or 6 minute video. It's the worst. Live, I'm fine with. Tutorials, I'm fine with. As soon as my face sees a camera and no one's around, it's like I can't speak. And I'm
Yeah.
alone. It's weird. So
Yeah.
yesterday I was like, you are live. You have no time to edit this. Get this video done. And in one take, I said everything I needed to. I didn't have to cut anything out. I just added a few websites and captions, and it worked. It was like mentally, it just worked for me. And I remember Nova saying that once because we were talking about editing. And I said, you film a lot too. And she goes, I just always pretend I'm live and I just don't really edit. And I was like, is that what it is? So it's
Yeah.
like you can get in your own mind. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you this not only as people potentially wanting to make videos, but also you get in your own mind and convince yourself of stuff and try not to. Like if I can convince myself I was live yesterday when I wasn't, you can convince yourself you're doing an amazing job and keep going with your channel. Like it's possible.
Yeah.
But it was a huge difference. I was like, that's all it took all these years.
Yeah.
Wish I knew that sooner. Well, don't worry, Andy. The bloopers will keep on coming
Yeah.
because I am a blooper.
The bloopers are natural. Yeah.
The bloopers are what I do in real life. So I
Yeah.
can't. It's just what I happen to catch on camera.
Yeah. Well, if
Any other
anybody,
questions?
yeah.
So let's see if I can do my job. Lauren, are you on Patreon too? And how do you become a member? No.
No Patreon for me.
No
Just
Patreon.
the YouTube channel membership is enough. And every once in a while, I'll throw some coupons in there too. Because I'm like, people are spending money that they may or may not have. Like, I know that's not my responsibility, but I'm like, well, here's a coupon.
Here you go.
People don't often see them though, but
If you go to the person's channel that you want to join, there should be next to their name a thing that says join. And it'll show, it's like a purple star or something that shows if they're on YouTube members. Sometimes YouTube is weird between apps, computers, tablets. So sometimes, like when I was looking for Lauren's, I couldn't find it on my phone, but I could find it on my computer. So like it's bizarre, but there should be a thing next to their name that says join, and then you can decide if you want to.
Nice.
Other than that, I have no idea because they move things around and I get confused. So
yeah, truly.
Any other questions from you guys? Anything else that you want to know that we didn't tell you?
No.
I love you paying full price. Keep your coupons. Lena. So.
Keep your stupid coupons.
Both of you speak so well with an audience, 90% personality. It is. It really, and I will tell you this last little parting note. All through high school and even in college, public speaking, not for me. Not for me at all. In college, I was forced. It was part of the curriculum that I had to take a public speaking class. And I thought that I was going to just die. I thought my life was going to end that day. I walked into the first day of that class shaking. I was terrified. I don't like speaking in front of people. Why would you make me do this? And I had the most incredible teacher ever who just had this calming presence about him and was never critical. I'm a fast talker. I'm a New Yorker. It's just how I talk. And after my first presentation, he was like, okay, but he wasn't critical. He was like, you speak very fast. Let's work on that during the semester, trying to just like slow it down a little bit. Let's work on these points. And by the end of the semester, I still never thought I would do it for a living, but I was like, I feel a little bit better. I feel like I could do this without dying. The first few presentations I gave in my bag making career, I was covered in sweat, red cheeks, I'd break out in hives. I'd stand there and I'd be like, how fast can I get the point across? Now, like I've given presentations in front of 200 people and just been laughing the whole time. It's always weird. I still always get butterflies.
Yeah.
But it just, the more you do it, the more it becomes normal. Like it just kind of becomes what you do. And if you just understand that you are awkward, but so are most of the people watching you, it's fine. Because you're like, nobody here is judging me. They're not up here talking.
Right.
So it's fine.
Yeah.
So
I feel that same way. I was like, I think even now, if I got up somewhere, I think I would like get flush, shaky legs, and like it's different in my own classroom because it's a smaller group. But like when you said 200 people, I was like, oh my God, I would die because I'd be like, well, they're all just judging me. They're all gonna be like, she's a vocal fry. She said like 7 times and don't know what she's talking about because like neither do I.
None of us really know as much as we or just remember that. But yeah, we all say we all say like, we all have our words, our comfort words that we say all the time. You can't help it. It's human nature. Like no one's perfect unless giving speeches and teaching people how to give a speech is what you do for a living. None of us are, we just do it. My other thing too, and I've said this before and people don't believe me, I am super introverted. I am not this outgoing extroverted person unless it's my territory. My channel, bag making in general, talking about product that I work with. You take me to a party, I will find a dog and sit in a corner. I am the most introverted, like my mother couldn't come with me to this ornament making class that we were doing glass blown ornaments and I had to go by myself. My husband wouldn't come with me. Everybody ditched me and made me go by myself. And do you want to know how many friends I made that night? because
Yeah.
I wouldn't talk to anybody. I sat in the corner and had a drink, rushed up to get my ornaments done, took them home and left. And Eric said he felt like he was dropping off his child at school for the first day because I was like, I don't want to go. And he was like, get out of the car.
Yeah.
I don't like being around people outside of my own environment. And
Yeah.
I'm super awkward. Like, don't talk to me in a grocery store. You'll think I'm horrible. Like, it's not a good time.
Yeah.
So, but we talk about things that we are passionate about.
Yeah.
That changes everything.
Because there's a light in us. Because I think a lot of times for me, especially, I'm like, people don't care about that. Please shut up. Like, that's
They
just
do.
how we were raised. I don't know, but it's just like, nobody cares. Stop talking. Okay.
Right. We're like in this weird oversharing environment where I'm like, did I just tell you that personal detail about my life? Should I have said that? But I feel like we know each other. So like we're getting to like, I feel like I know you guys as much as you know us. So
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I just said that really super awkward thing. Oh, well.
It's fine.
Oh, well, that's fine. I
Don't
just
haunt
told
me.
you that my husband has 9 toes. I told the whole internet that. I was like, it is what it is. Like, you know, it's just the nature of my weird.
I die.
So I'm glad that a lot of you seem to understand us. And I'm glad that you're all here. I hope that we answered all the questions you wanted to know. And Marie's going to talk to me if she sees me in a store. Just don't. Unless you want to be like, hey, I like your bag. And even then I was in the mall yesterday buying a candle and the girl at the counter goes, oh my God, I love your purse. And I was like, thanks. I didn't tell her I made it. I was just
No.
like, thanks, bye.
Whenever I go somewhere like with Josie, she'd have to be like, thanks, my friend made it. She wouldn't be like, this friend made it. She'd be like, oh yeah, my friend made it. And they'd be like, oh my gosh, she made that? It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't make that. It's fine.
Yeah. No, it wasn't me. I don't know who your friend is. Never met her. So.
Somebody else.
Well, I think this was super fun.
Thank you.
Too much longer, but I'm so excited that you guys came, and thank you, Lauren, for hanging out.
Thanks for letting me invite myself.
Yeah, listen, that's what our friends for. You're invited to everything, always.
Okay, great.
Always and forever. So maybe we'll do another one of these sometime. Maybe we'll figure out another topic to talk about, and we'll do another live together because this was fun. But
toes.
Yeah.
9 toes.
9 toes. Who else has 9 toes? No. So yeah. He loves when I share all of his stories. If you have questions afterwards, let us know. We'll answer them. And if you want more of this, also let us know. And we'll invite ourselves to each other's channels and we'll just do this for you. Anytime.
I'm here. Yeah. It's more fun to be together. You know,
way more fun. And unfortunately, last year I got a little spoiled because I saw you so much. And this year I'm like, this is not cool. So I'll take you, even if it's 2-dimensional you.
Yeah.
I'd rather 3-dimensional you, but I'll take you anyway I can get you.
Yeah. I like it.
When am I leaving for Cleveland? On Tuesday. So what am I thinking about right now? Not packing, content. Because that's just what I'm like, I need to film stuff.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
All right. I gotta head to work.
Yes. And I gotta go to work too. So we'll see you guys later. Bye.